Hey everyone, and welcome back to another WRP live play TTRPG session. What is WRP? Well, that's me, Faye, Game Master and Storyteller, and Lachlan, our writer and producer. We're a couple who love sharing stories, so much so that we quit our day jobs and we created our own company. That way we could create high quality and exciting TTRPG experiences full time and share them with you. And tonight we are playing D&D. This session features the D&D's Shadow of the Dragon Queen adventure, a riveting adventure of courage and valor where our intrepid heroes face unbeatable odds in a cataclysmic war. With us at the table are several of the incredible players who have joined us on our grand endeavor. If you'd like to play alongside them, you are more than welcome to join us. You can ask in chat or hop over to our Discord where you can find out more. Now, speaking of our awesome players, it's time for introductions. Like I said, I'm Faye, Game Master and Storyteller. With me is Sirenscape, bringing our background music and sound effects. It's a fantastic and affordable sound collection that you can find at sirenscape.com. And now we get to meet our courageous and daring heroes before we pick up in the midst of battle where we left off last week. So, let us begin with a introduction for Vass.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm playing Vass. He is a devilishly handsome tiefling bard rogue who has found himself accidentally stumbling across the multiverse. This week's fun fact about Vass is having grown up in an upper middle class family in Neverwinter, he did receive basic sword training as part of his upbringing, but most of his skill in that area came from being born out of necessity as he spent time in the woods of Barovia just trying to stay alive. And I'm sure Hugh cringes whenever he looks at Vass's form, but it gets the job done.
That's really what you need in the world. Uh, Next up, speaking of Hugh, why don't we get our introduction from Hugh?
Hi, I'm Stefan. I'm playing Hugh de Vere, a flashy and flamboyant fencer. Today's fact is that he names all his horses after nuts. And after this is his first horse, what his father gave him as a kid was named Aveline, which is translates to hazelnut.
I love it. Uh, Next up on our introductions list, let's learn about Rue.
Alright, I'm Frontboard, and I'm playing Rhubarb Bafflewander, a forest gnome sorcerer from the forest of Thancred Isle, way to the west of Arthur, across the sea. You might know him better as Rue. I guess the fun fact about Rue is in the forest, he's friendly with all there. And he likes to keep track of the boars in the forest by keeping tabs on the stripes that form in their coat. They all have unique stripe patterns. And he calls those patterns a boar code.
That is definitely not what I was expecting, but I love it all the same.
I thought I was muted. It's a good thing I didn't blurt out the first thing that popped into my head at that.
Amazing. And then last but not least, let us learn about Victoria.
Hey, I'm Cable. I'm playing Victoria. Victoria, a Knight of the Rose and Paladin of Paladin.
That's all I'm getting?
That's it.
All right.
You got to pay for more.
Alrighty. Well then, with that, let us...
I will say, I don't recall hearing unbeatable odds before, and I didn't like hearing that in the introduction. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It's been there.
It was the last one.
Well, we're still in the same fight that started in the last one.
I guess here are your unbeatable odds. So, as we are picking up, as I said, we are in the middle of a battle. You have come following after the successful retaking of Wheelwatch Outpost. You make it back to Calamon, and you notice that it is empty, mostly. a set of favors asked and granted, and you've made it to the Steel Springs in time to see a ambush, a massive fight. Calaman soldiers are being decimated. You see that they were moving back and are on the efforts of crossing through the, I think it's called the Inkwell? I want to say it's the Inkwell, is the stream. And as you entered into the battle, you have, of course, these dragon army soldiers that you engaged with during the fight. And so, we are picking up as Victoria, you have stood your ground, stand in defense, waiting for these figures to get closer, and it is now our Halaman army. Last we left off, they were just getting to the crossing, and are now moving over such of the waters to get to safety from the other side of the islet. Again, they can only really cross over their wounds and the effort it takes to move just too much, really. And as they cross over, that's all that they can do. But now it is our dragon army. The horses that are available rear up and are going to... they're going to try and go over the webbing. So, as their riders try and force them over across, the horses are a little wary. It doesn't look right. So, what is the rules on web again?
It's difficult terrain, I believe. First and foremost, it's lightly obscuring that area, if that matters. And then it's a Dex 14 save when they start the turn or enter the turn in the wave. But in the web, they fail, they're restrained as long as they're in the web. You break free.
Alright, so our war horses are going to make those dexterity saves as they are being led into the web. The first one is a 17.
Pass.
Second one is a 14.
Meets it, beats it, right?
Meets it, beats it. Our last one, however, fails with a 12. So, the horse is stuck in the web. It's starting to panic, and the rider is going to leap off and try and continue this on foot. So he's got to make the dex save. It was on the natural 20, and then it rolled over. He fails and is also stuck. But, Victoria, you have two horses riding up to you as they try and get past. But their riders are going to swing down and try to strike with their javelins.
Am I gonna, if they're gonna go past me, am I gonna get a opportunity attack?
So they were going to go past you, but they stopped in front of you because you're in their way.
They stop in front of me to stab the poop out of me. Got it.
Yeah. As they have the javelins in their hands that they were going to be throwing at the Calaman soldiers, they're just going to stab you with them. That is a 20 on the first attack.
Yeah, it hits.
And that'll be... 5 piercing damage and 3 fire.
Yeah.
Then the second figure has a natural 20.
Yeah, that hits.
10 piercing and 4 fire. And that is it for our dragon army, as the horses again rear up in front of you. Now, I know that you were waiting there, Victoria. You had a held action. for figures got close. Would you like to
okay.
release it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Dudes got close, didn't
they did.
they? All right. So, you know what? I guess that guy that crit me is going to get a swim action. Yeah, never mind. I'm assuming a 10 does not hit.
A 10, unfortunately, does not hit.
Oh, I get 2 attacks, though. Haha.
You have 2 attacks.
All right. So 19?
19 will hit.
All right. For 8 and 4 damage. 44 damage here. 3, so 11.
Well, you had the +3 from your proficiency bonus as well, so it's modifiers. It's 8, 3, and then another 3.
Oh, I thought they added that. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right,
total
sweet.
14. A little bit more than what you thought. Yeah, so this figure, as your blade cuts into him, the fires worked into the metal. You hear the hiss of breath, and it is coming to the end of the order, which means some stuff is happening.
Hey, did you see Caitlin's question about there was a horse that had a drip globe light on it? I think.
Yes. That, I believe, let me look at that real quick. So that would have been the one, we'll just make it easy. That's the one that's restrained. Because I don't remember which horse exactly had it on it. I didn't put that in my notes, but I know it exists. So that is the horse that is restrained by the web without a rider. Because the rider is also restrained by the web.
Of course.
And I am putting a note here now. So, as the fight continues, from beyond the trees, an arc of arrows comes over and is going to affect... Victoria, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, but everyone within 10 feet of you also has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ah, that 20, hell yeah.
So
Take
Victoria,
that.
you are fine, but we also have the 2 war horses and their riders that are involved in that. War horse number 1 fails.
4 horse.
This rider fails. The second war horse fails with a natural 1. And his rider fails with a natural 1. Okay.
I hear that guy doesn't tip, so.
As the arrows come racing down from the sky, that is 11 points of damage on a failed save. So that's doing that. And the figure that you had just hit,
Is
Victoria,
that no damage on a successful save?
no damage on a successful save.
Okay.
The figure that you had just hit on your held action, Victoria, you watch as the arrow slides in to one of the areas unprotected by the armor, and he slides off of his horse. The horse goes running as he is dead.
Heck yeah.
And then it is going to be top the round, Rue. You are by the river, near the tree. What are you doing?
I wish that I could speak to beasts that were larger than small, because I want to tell these horses that they deserve better than these riders that are on them. But I can't. I could try, but they wouldn't understand. So there's 2 riders left, yeah?
Yes, one of which is restrained off of his horse.
Great. He seems like less of an imminent threat than the one that's probably over there swinging at Victoria. So let's rough him up a bit. just cast a cantrip because it's easier. And to creep him out a little bit, let's use Chill Touch and send like a spectral hand over to give him a smacking for treating his horses badly.
Okay.
But that's gonna be an 8.
Unfortunately, the 8 does not hit as the spectral energy coasts across. It does not seem to find purchase on your target.
And then I think that I will hold my ground over by the tree by Bass. So no movement, and I think I won't use any bonus actions either, so yours done.
Alright, sounds good. Staying over near the tree by Vass does bring us over to Vass's turn.
Right, so I'm also by that rock, I think.
You are.
So, and I believe because I'm a swords bard, if I take the attack action on my turn, I get an extra 10 feet of movement.
Correct.
So I'm wondering with, like, is the creek walkable, or does it have to be crossed where the rocks are?
So the crossings just don't count as difficult terrain. If you're walking through the actual water, it's about 4 feet deep, and considered difficult terrain.
Okay. 2. So I think with 8 squares of movement, even with the difficult terrain, I should be able to get over where Victoria is if I understand where she's at.
Uh... 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to get there.
And there's a riderless horse, and is there another mounted rider?
Right in front of Victoria, there is a mounted rider.
Alright, so since I have a friend next to me, I should be able to get sneak attack. And I'm going to channel my infernal heritage and conjure a flame blade
Heck yeah.
and attack the rider. That hit.
15 just hits.
Oh, it does. All right. Well, here's the damage from the flame blade, and then let me find sneak attack because of course it's on a different tab. Additional 4 points of sneak attack.
As Vass, you make your way crossing through the water, conjure this flame blade from your infernal heritage, and you pierce it forward, and that rider also falls off of his horse into a stream as you deal a hefty amount of damage to this already wounded fighter.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm happy with that turn, so I think that'll be it.
All right. At the end of Vash's turn, Hugh, we come to you. There is one rider left. He is restrained in the webs on the far crossing. What would you like to do?
Well, I think I have my hunter's mark on someone else, but they're probably dead now, so I assume I can apply it on him.
Easily
And
done.
I try and shoot him down with my longbow. The first is a 21, I assume that misses. The next is an 18.
18 hits.
For 7 and damage.
10 damage. Alright. So, as your arrow impacts against the figure, there's the grunt of pain that can be witnessed from where you stand, heard by those that are closer. And it's bonus action, and I assume you're staying put. Which means, Victoria, we come to your turn.
Okay, so the only other guys that got caught in webs, like currently.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my action. I'm gonna have to spend a precious precious spell slot to cast Cure Wounds on myself. For a total of 10. Okay.
Anything else on your turn, Victoria?
That's it.
Our Kalaman Knights are going to continue pressing onwards, moving away.
Man, those guys are still running. That's so
They can only move 15 feet around. So, they're
it's not that they're moving, it's that they're running away.
they're wounded. They were on death's door
Yeah,
when you
we're all
arrived.
wounded. I'm on death's door, whatever.
Gosh. As the dragon army, he's going to take his javelin, and he is going to throw it, and he will do so to disadvantage at Victoria, because he has that in hand. But a 6 misses. It into the ground, the eyelet, and in the background,
2 armies of losers here. Sorry.
the air is once more filled with the arrows from over the trees, and going to this time affect. This will be happening to Rue. Rue, I need a dexterity save.
Oh my god. I was like, what?
I was buffering there, guys. I'm sorry.
Alright. Yeah, that's a nat 1.
Oh no! So as the arrows come flying down all around, that is 11 points of piercing damage on a failed save.
Oh. Alright, I need to make a con save for my web concentration.
You need to beat a 10.
I need to beat a 10, so we just...
It's
Do I get to add my modifier to it, though?
You're rolling a Constitution save.
It's a save?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nat 20.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Nat 1 and Nat 20, you're fine.
It's
So as the events of the battlefield happen, Rue, we come back to your turn. Again, you have one of the Dragon Rider. The horses that can run free are doing so. The other horse is trapped in your web.
Rue kind of like lets out a yelp and says, "Where are these stinking arrows coming from?" Gosh. I don't know if we can see where they're coming from, so we'll focus on.
Thematically, they're coming from the fray, the fighting on the outside of the map. So
The Fray, my favorite band. Let's try and rough up the guy that's still restrained by the web, because he didn't try and free himself, correct?
correct, he is still restrained by the web.
So let's send a spectral hand at him with chill touch this time. Advantage then, because he's restrained. My dice is spinning. That's a 21.
21 hits.
Gonna take 9 necrotic damage.
9 necrotic damage. He is looking rough. He's standing on death's door, but he is still hanging in there.
He's got a spectral hand clinging to him.
He's got a spectral hand clinging to him. He can't regain hit points. There's probably a fear for his life very much flashing before his eyes in this moment. Anything else from Rue?
Yeah, I want to use my movement to climb up into the tree a bit to see if that kind of provides me protection from any more errant arrows.
Alright, as we climb up, Vast, we come to you. You have a flame blade in hand. There is a restrained Dragon Army soldier. What would you like to do?
I would like to go up to said restrained rider and attack him with my flaming scimitar.
Alright, you will be entering into the web, so there is a dexterity save you must make. You gotta beat a 14.
That's a 19.
You are unaffected by the webs. They don't hold you in place and restrain you. It's, I believe, just difficult terrain, so you walk over easily enough. And let's see that attack roll. Advantage,
Alright.
because he is restrained.
Advantage. Ooh, so that means I get sneak attack also. Alright, that's a 24.
Definitely hits.
And that's 8 and 3, 11.
All right, 11 points of damage into the soldier. He goes limp, and with that, I will say that you are no longer bound by initiative. As the fight and adrenaline begins to fade, you see a dozen mounted soldiers that gallop from the tree line. They are rushing southwards towards the crossing where you stand. You see that Calaman's colors are visible on these soldiers' armors, though you see that it is also stained and dented from battle. Amongst the riders, it is quite easy to pick out Darrett. He is wearing his distinctive Salamnic armor.
Good
And
guy.
you see that there is another figure that sits behind Darrett, sharing his steed.
So mad.
As they come riding closer, you see that these are soldiers, Calaman soldiers, and that as Darrett rides closer, you see that upon his back of his mount is Lord Baccharis.
Oh my god.
But Darrett sees you all, and immediately his mount is coming forward towards you. The dragon
Can I
army.
sneakily...
What was that?
I was going to ask if I could sneakily try and shove him off the horse as they walk past me.
They're not quite walking past you just quite yet. Darrett's coming up and he says, "The dragon army forces, they've overwhelmed Calaman's troops, and they're in pursuit. Come on, we need to get out of here. There's a fallback point to the east."
Okay, she'll thump his leg in greeting as he passes. Okay, to the east. How many more forces are behind you? Of our forces?
These are all that you see. These are all that's left. You can share horse space with some of the riders, so that way you're not walking towards the fallback group.
Are any of those horses still around that the Red Dragon Army were riding?
Yeah, I would say the one near you in Victoria, and then the one in the web is also nearby.
I guess I didn't say I had dropped the web or not. It lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe we drop the web and try and free the horse out.
Just wondering if I could maybe make an animal handling check to try and calm a horse down so that we have another horse.
Yeah, go ahead, roll an animal handling check for me.
11.
It's not quite calm. You have a hold of its reins, and it is a trained horse, but it's jittery, jumpy. You can ride upon its back, but it's a little skittish.
All right. I'll take what I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Okay, I'll jump on one of the rider's horses.
okay.
Does that mean I have to find a horse too?
You can get on one of the backs of one of the other riders here, or with Vass, as Vass has got the horse, but it is skittish, jumpy.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to ride on Bass's horse.
Okay. Maybe Rue, if you would like to roll an animal handling to help Vass with the horse, see if you can help calm it down.
And I use my guidance as well on my animal handling.
Sure, why not?
Neat. Ask for some help with this animal. It's 18. I'm gonna anchor well then.
Gosh dang it, Science. Alright. Uh, with a 18 plus 1 for your animal handling, yeah. I would say between Vass and Rue, easily able to calm this horse down enough that it's not going to bolt at the first opportunity. And you are able to ride eastward. Through the ride, you would notice Bakaris is in a clear state of shock. He has not said a word. Quite unlike him. You head 6 miles east of Steel Springs. Other Kalaman soldiers have retreated here as well. You're able to dismount and take a breather, quick moment.
So, all right, Victoria will go over to Derek. How are you? Are you wounded?
I'm fine. We were able to order with some of the commanders and myself a swift withdrawal. We saved as many as we could, but it was a poor decision.
Mm-hmm. She'll fidget with one of his armor straps, like kind of fixing his.
He'll take his hand and place it on where she's fidgeting. Victoria, I'm fine. I would have told you if I wasn't.
Okay. Is everyone? I assume. She's gonna stop and is he Bakaris still near us?
Lord Bakaris is in the camp, but he's not. I would assume that
Okay.
you guys aren't right next to him, given your disposition.
Kalaman is undefended.
I have word from Marshal Vendry that her forces are traveling from the west to protect the city. And it doesn't seem that the Dragon Army is pursuing us, or any of those who've retreated.
How much of their army's left? Did you do anything to it?
No. They were hundreds of enemy soldiers there against our small troop. We were vastly unaware. People were uninformed when they made a call.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well. Okay. What's the plan then? Rest and a return to the city, or first forced marched?
Rest first. These men. I'd rather take the chance of perhaps a small break off of the soldiers from the Dragon Army to come after us, but I don't think that they will. They've not yet. And they rest and can march back when some of the wounds have begun to heal.
Okay. All right. Okay. And she's gonna shut up and stick nearby for support.
Is there anyone that's grievously wounded?
There are a few people. No one here looks terribly close to death, but some people do look worse off than others. And would probably be appreciative of any sort of aid.
Vass has a health potion that he'd be willing to donate to the cause.
Oh, I forgot about health potions. I think we all had one, didn't we?
You got a guy that makes them and you forget about health potions?
Yeah.
Wow, Rue.
Yeah, that's okay, Faye, because they all forget about my bardic inspiration necklace
That's
as
it.
well.
That one failed death save right there, Faye. I'm telling you.
It's true, they do forget about that, and you put so much
No,
effort into
it's
that.
it's not that I forget about it so much as it's always too late to use it.
You know, I was planning on using mine again if I have to take a watch to give me inspiration on my watch. Calculating.
So, as you are uh, as you donate this health potion, the soldier gives a hearty thanks. You can see uh, that while the shock isn't so much from it's more of a biological response to shock than anything from emotional. The wounds of the body, this figure must have been up close in battle before getting on the turnabout. And go ahead, if anyone would like to roll for me an insight check here.
Yeah. Inside some stuff. Or not.
It's got to be a 7 or a 14 or a 21.
You've got to.
Oh, it's going to beat all you have with that. Oh, wait. No, insight is not a strong suit.
So close. Um, it is Vass and Victoria that would notice this. Lord Baccharis is present, but his son Baccharis the Younger is not.
I wondered. Well, okay, if we have a minute where we're not like right in front of him, like Bakaris, then she'll quietly ask
Uh,
Derek.
Darrett, who's been hanging out near you guys because you're his friends,
Yeah.
um, he would explain. It was during our retreat. The forces commanded by Baccharis the Younger were overwhelmed. He's unaccounted for. And you can see a sort of solemn look on his face that perhaps speaks of more dire beliefs and assumptions.
Okay. All right. She'll just nod her head.
Add that to the list of people that we need to find. As much as I don't like him, I don't want him to be dead either.
Barrett nods. I'll let you guys rest. Me and some of the commanders that are in the better shape are going to set up for watch. Make sure that everything in the night stays well.
Vass will volunteer to watch as well.
Okay.
I don't know if at this point he'll be accumulating a point of exhaustion or not, but that's fine.
I'll say that with the long rest you guys are about to take, it'll be fine. You can be part of watch during your rest.
Of course, yeah.
So, anyone who volunteers for watch easily able to stay out. You can watch the nights here, morning shifts, evening, dark of night, dawn. But there's no disturbances. You all gain the benefits of a long rest. As morning comes,
Sweet. And
as
that
morning
gnome will stop
comes,
complaining.
you are given horses by Darrett. Ride ahead.
Says right there.
So Derek gives you the horses. Right ahead, and inform Governor Miat of what has happened. We're going to rendezvous with Marshal Vendry upon the way to Calamont.
What?
It's safer in numbers for these men.
Well, there's.
People need to be made aware.
Well, they're aware.
Who does he want us to talk to? Some governor?
The Governor Miat, he is the guy that gave the okay for Bakar's. You've met Miat before. He's part of the council.
Okay.
Jared will say, we'll be in far gap distance. It'll be fine.
Far gap distance. Are you? Is he like commanding them now?
He is the de facto leader of the forces here.
Awesome. Okay then. All right. There's no reason to mess with that. Okay. Is like Hugh muted and he just thinks we're all ignoring him, or?
Oh no, I've been quiet.
Okay. Well, I mean, Victoria will look at the others like. What do you guys want to do?
I
Do
mean,
we
I don't
argue with
know
this,
how
or do we do it?
these wars work. You guys have your
I
policies
think it's
and
best.
procedures.
I'm not sure which one is best, but if they've made a decision, I don't think it was worth spending political capital on disputing it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean, we certainly
Alright.
can't go up against an army of hundreds. We need to get back to safety in numbers.
How many men, women, and others are part of that group that with Darrett that look like they might possibly be in fighting condition if it had to be that way?
There is a handful of, I would say about maybe 20 or so soldiers that seem to be in fighting condition at the current time. Others are still recovering but have varying levels of wounds. So depending on how long the rendezvous takes, may be in better shape than currently. But there is people here to defend. It's not like Darrett is on his own, trying to defend the group. And they still have, even with offering you guys horses enough to ride, that
Yeah, there are probably plenty left behind.
there are plenty of horses for those that are a little bit more grievously injured, to allow for quick escape, or, you know, they're war horses, they could fight too.
Can you give me a hand getting up on my horse? These ones seem extra tall.
Do you have any, Derek? Do you have any written messages or reports you want us to take back?
Nothing more than what you'd be able to tell them. Forces were too large, and we believe Bakaris the Younger is lost to us. They're not pursuing.
Make sure you come back.
Of course.
I mean, I would think, of course, except you followed that fool.
I can't. I'm part of the military. for Kalman. I was needed to go. It's not like I'm following him because I believe in his actions, but if I wasn't here, think of how things could have gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. She'll look. She'll look at Hugh because he's probably the best at figuring out what particular directions they need to take in any particular time.
Yeah, I would say if anyone wants to, I mean, you know that you went eastward, and you have a general idea of a map of where the Steel Spring crossing is. And I would say with anyone who wants to make a survival check to kind of orient yourself.
I guess I'll make it, but she's relying on Hugh,
Well,
which is good. Oof.
Hugh and Victoria twinning up here.
We're lost. We're gone.
Yeah, you are covering the basics of, you know that you went east, you know that Steel Spring was sort of northward of Calamon, but with Rue and Vass, you're easily able to get yourselves with a bearing of where to head to get yourself back to Calamon City. As you ride out, again, it is a uneventful ride until you are arriving at the gates of Calamon. There is a crowd that mills at the gates ahead.
What?
Dozens of commoners that murmur. They are looking excitedly past the closed portcullis. You hear from a guard the shouts, "There's nothing to see! Please, move along!"
Like they're looking inside into the city?
Yes, like there's the gate, the portcullis on the gate is closed, and they're trying to look inside the gate towards the city.
We would ask one of the people near the back, what's going on in there?
Oh, there was a retinue, Knights of Solomnia. They,
Oh,
you
thank
know
the
the
gods.
you know the type, though. At this point, there's all sorts of stuff going about in the world. I think anything would be welcome here. But there was almost a dozen of them, heavily armored. Though the one at the front was quite charming. Said his name was Caradoc.
Have I heard of Caradoc?
Um,
I mean, I know.
I go ahead, roll for me a history check. Nope, you've never heard of a Knight Caradoc.
okay. 16.
Uh, you've heard the name Caradoc before, not of any sort of particular current name. It's a name that's been passed through ages, some of history and renown, others not. Some even stretch back to the time before the Cataclysm. It's an old name, and some of it carries weight, but a knight of this age named Caradoc is not bringing any sort of recognition to your mind, Hugh.
Is it normal for the gate to be closed and the portcullis to be closed just in general?
No, it is not. But you can always go talk to a gate guard about why that may be.
I'm assuming we can guess why. Right? Like having very few people to guard the place. But, I mean, we got to ask one to let us in anyway, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Why would they lock all of the people out when you think they're trying to protect these people?
Mm-hmm. Ask him.
I was about to. I want to maneuver my horse through the crowd to the front.
Okay. Yeah, you would see the city guard. And please, there's nothing to see. Move along.
Yeah, I'm moving along. I want to move along inside the gate, back inside the keep, so we can go give a report to the mayor. Do you know
Well,
who we are?
isn't he a councilman?
He's a governor.
Go.
Governor.
Yeah. What? All right. We're all wrong.
He's a
Your
council member.
honorifics don't mean anything to me.
He is a council member. You're right, but his official title is governor. Persuasion check, Rue.
Oh, so close to a nat 20. That's an 11.
Seems everyone's got a message for the governor these days. Man. Turns over to his guard companion, the partner on duty, gives a nod, and will begin to raise the portcullis for your group to enter in.
Just us.
Just yes. Or just you, yes. It seems that they're being particular about. God dang it, Sirenscape.
Sirenscape does not approve of this guard's behavior either.
But no, yeah, it seems that they are being very particular with who is being led into the city at this time.
You made the right choice by opening that gate, but I really think that you should open the gate for everybody, not just for us. We've got forces coming behind us with wounded men and women and wounded council members. We're sure as hell better open the door for them.
If we see them, we'll keep it in mind.
Okay. All right. So, go find this guy.
So, you would know that council business is done at the Castle Calamon on the ground floor.
They do their business below where we live.
Yes, you were made aware of that. And as you are riding through the streets, it does take some time to get from the gates down to the Castle Calamon. And as you are moving, there is almost an unease in the air. It's almost like something's not quite right. You can't quite place it. The city is as it normally seems, busy. There are people moving about, business and trade. You can hear the sounds of the market in the distance. You know that your horses that are truly yours wait for you at Wyans.
That's what I was thinking about. I was like, can we stop by Wyatt's?
I mean, if it's on, I mean, there's no reason.
It would be on the way, so if you wanted to go by and pick up your horses to bring back to the stable, easily done.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put
Make sure Sam isn't getting into trouble.
And as you are going by Wyans, picking up your horses, and making your way towards the Castle Calamon, I think this is a great place for us to take our first ad break for the evening. So, we will come back and see what is going on in the city when we return. Please hang around, chat with us, stick with us through the ad break. Please don't mute the ads. Please don't leave us. Ads are a huge part of how we can keep our games affordable. If you would like to help us out and support us directly, you can always do so by donating to our Ko-fi. It helps provide me caffeine, it helps support WRP, and it helps unlock cool and awesome perks for the entire community, for everyone who plays with us for the next week. These awesome perks are going to include double treasure, double XP, special side quests, and companions, all sorts of fun things. So, I love you all. Stick around, and we'll be right back. Alright, we are coming back. And as we arrive, you are returning to Castle Calamon. You see the gates of Castle Calamon closed when you arrive, but the guards recognize you. You've been here long enough that they know that you reside on the grounds and open the gates for you, admitting you in. You can put your horses into the stable, but you as you are entering in, you are told by the castle guard, most of the knights contingent is meeting with the governor and councillors in the council chamber, but a few of the knights remained in the courtyard if you wish to talk to them. So after you drop off your horses at the stable, if you wish to, you can head towards the council chamber, and you know that to reach the council chamber you must go through the courtyard.
I mean, sounds like a thing. Are we planning on interrupting this meeting or waiting?
I mean, I think it's pretty important what we have to say.
Okay.
Alright.
Is there some sort of plan or information that needs to go that they need to make? Then, yeah, I guess information would have.
They're your people that the governor's meeting with, right, Victoria?
They're not my people so much as I'm their people.
Okay. But they're like your tribe, right?
My order, yes. I want to speak to them. I'm just, well, I guess with this councilman, we probably shouldn't afford him as much respect as maybe I'm used to giving people. Certainly hasn't earned it.
I do want to make note that you guys have a +1 to your attack rolls for the rest of the session.
Oh,
from chat.
heck yeah. Thanks, Lizard.
Heck yeah.
You enter towards the courtyard, and you see it is largely deserted. You know most of the city's defenders remain with the troops west of the city. However, near the covered cloisters that lead to the council's conference rooms are two heavily armored Knights of Solamnia on horseback. One of them holds a banner wearing a prominent rose emblem.
They're on horseback still?
They are on horseback still.
It's just,
It's wide enough area. It's the courtyard.
yeah, it's the courtyard. What I was going to ask is this a good sign that they're here on like pretty official business?
It could be. It's definitely not typical. You've not seen this before in your staying here, and you've seen some official business going on through here.
Yeah.
But as you are moving in, Hugh, you notice something.
I'm good at that.
You are good at that. The armor of these knights is covered in spots of ash and rust, as if it is exceptionally old.
Can I do a history check to see if this is really old armor itself? Like it's out of style?
Go ahead, roll for me a history check.
20.
20. From the signs of the rust and tarnishing, probably, the Knights of Solamnia have a very sort of traditional appearance that hasn't really wavered in the ages, even with their disfavor.
Hmm. I don't have. I don't have any tests for magic or anything like that. Something that's. I don't have any way of like. I feel bad juju, guys. Reach out my magic senses to detect it or anything like that. Bye.
Is he mentioning his observations, or
I'm holding it close to the chest for the moment.
okay? All right. Victoria will salute them as they get close, because we have to pass them, right?
You would have to pass them. But as you try to get closer, the one with the banner drops it down as if to block entry.
He just kind of casually looks him up and down and says, "I say, man, where'd you get your armor? It's antique, and you're so slovenly taking care of it. I should report. I'm going to report you to your superior officer for your reckless disregard of your duties. Let me through."
As you list off these noticings and these almost threats of compliance, and what you receive is a lack of care. There's no response. There is a heavy weighted silence as the banner stays placed heavily, a blockage to where you are wanting to go.
Okay. All right. If politely, Victoria's going to say, "By what authority are you blocking our path? Are you bringing messages from the front?"
Victoria, as you step forward and you offer this firm but polite request, demand to be allowed entrance, there is, again, an eerie silence as the only response.
And they didn't return the salute either?
They have done nothing except try to block your path.
Okay. Let me know if you think that this is out. If you think this isn't something like I should be doing, but she has a divine sensibility
She does have a divine
as a
sensibility.
paladin.
That's correct.
Can I use that?
Would you like to?
Yes.
Cool. You get the sense of undead present.
Oh, it says you can detect good and evil. Do I feel a good or evil vibe, or just an undead vibe?
So, I believe that's more of the, it's the flavoring from earlier. You can smell the stench of undead, the rotting of the meat, as you detect the undead, instead of hearing, like, the chimes of bells for a celestial or something like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, and now just to be clear,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't have any knowledge of platoons of undead knights rolling around doing good and being awesome and stuff, right?
Never heard of that.
Yeah, okay. Okay, she's gonna calmly half turn towards Hugh and say, "They're undead," and then draw her sword.
Hugh draws his sword extra fast because his people have had trouble with undead in the past.
Then
Go the
I'm,
undead knights.
then I'm going to ask for initiative rolls, as it seems that hostilities are rising.
Oh shit! Pardon me. Oh, there's my one.
Ayo.
I got it too.
Are undead like common things in this world and in Sandcrest? Like, or is this a new thing? Or...
I would think that undead have been heard of before, but it isn't like it's, you've got your friendly neighborhood necromancer down the road. They're not common. But I would think that it is not unheard of.
Okay, something from legends that I would have heard in 100+ years of living.
Right. They're the bedtime stories you tell to kids to make them behave at night.
You know, I'm 114 and I still tell my 80-year-old kids bedtime stories.
So, that'll be Rue first. Victoria.
I'm more scared of the idea that Rue has. I mean, yeah, Rue has kids.
What's so scary about that?
Kind of a weirdo.
I mean, there could be whole generations of them, right?
So many baffle wanders just running around.
That's right.
Rue, you would see Victoria and Hugh pulling their weapons. You've heard where Victoria has said that there is that they're undead. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't like this at all. Have the undead had any hostile motions, or are they just holding the banners? Like,
The only hostile motion was them putting their banner down to prevent you entry from entering into the council and the castle. Like, you just can't go further than them, is what they've done here.
case, I don't want to make the first move, so I will. I would assume Rue would already have been behind. The others would have approached the banners to try and go through, namely Hugh and Brett. Rue's gonna take a couple steps back, like 5 or 10 feet, and I'm gonna hold a bless action. And if they are attacked by the two soldiers, then I want to cast bless on Vass and Victoria and Hugh.
All right, so Rue, as you step back, watching the battlefield, the tension rising, you have a spell partially cast. You're holding those final motions and final movements in case this all goes bad. Anything else on your turn? Victoria, you've got your sword in hand. You have undead in front of you. They're on horseback, and they are preventing your entry.
I'm gonna go ahead and try and lay some smackdown on the banner holding guy.
Okay.
All right. Go smackdown. Oh, 25?
25 hits.
Okay. You're a 6 plus 3 fire.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure why I didn't think to do this. Where are we? Let's go with a precise strike. So I'll have advantage on the roll and add a d8 of damage if I hit.
Okay.
Yes, roll no. Okay, I'm being a phoebe, and the app is also conspiring. Right, neither of those are in that 20. Assume the 20 hit.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. All right, so 5 plus a d8 and a d4. Oof, geez. So what's that? 14 damage.
Mm-hmm. So, as your attacks go forward and you're striking out, the cloak that has been wrapped around the cape that kind of kept some of the face underneath the helm covered is removed by the impact, and you see a skeletal visage, revealing this to all of you.
Hmm.
Anything else from Victoria?
You know what? I just a second. Is that bolster? Yeah, the bolstering rally is a bonus action. So I'm going to use bolstering rally on Hugh. Give him 1d8 plus 6 HP. I would like. They're too slow and stagnant to stand against us. He gets 7 temporary HP.
Okay. So, as Hugh receives the temporary HP, Vass, we do come to your turn. You see this skeletal visage.
And did the skeletal visage react at all to getting, smacked around?
It seems to just be being attacked. There's no change in its facial expressions. It also probably it's no obvious change. So either it was already committed to its course of actions, but it does seem to take the damage.
Okay. Vass is going to draw both of his scimitars to be ready, but he's gonna try a dissonant whispers to start at the one that hasn't been attacked yet.
Go for it.
So that's a wisdom 14.
That is a 17 on the wisdom.
All right.
You would feel
Damage.
the energy. He takes the psychic damage. It doesn't seem to have any sort of resistances there. But because he succeeded, he only takes half of that damage that you rolled and does not run away.
Yeah.
Do you do anything else on your turn, Vass?
I kind of stalk off to the side of the one that I just attacked psychically.
Alright, so you move off to the side, starting to position yourself in a more tactical area. And as you do so, we do come to Hugh. It is your turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna that one that's already been strike. I'm going to Hunter's Mark and strike at him
Okay.
with my sword. So first one is a 26.
26 hits.
Okay, 13 and then 1. So 14 piercing damage, and I'm not sure if psychic damage is going to do anything to him. If it does, 2.
Is your rapier a magical weapon?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. So, you would notice that as your sword cuts through, it doesn't do quite as much as you had hoped. However, it does seem to take the psychic damage from your dreadful strikes in full.
Okay, well, second go. $14.
14, unfortunately, is not enough to get past the Slamnik plate. It catches on, there's the sound against it hitting the metal, but no
You
damage.
still get +1?
With the +1 making it a 15 unfortunately still misses.
Oh, okay.
So, it is caught by the armor. The tang fills across the courtyard, giving it much the only sound that you can hear here. I believe that is it for Hugh. Which means that it is now our... What is it with Sirenscape tonight? It is dropping much more than normal. I'll get her back up. I wonder if I need to restart my computer or something.
Do you need some IT support?
I might just need to do some IT stuff after session. We'll make it work for now. But yeah, so as it is now our knight's turn, the one that has the banner is going to lift it up, and as a pole arm, similar to a spear, bring it down once towards Victoria, and then once towards Hugh. A 11 will miss Victoria. And an 11 misses Hugh, so you guys are fine.
Huh.
The other knight, however, is going to... well, this would trigger Rue's action if you would like to release your bless.
Yeah, let's bless my buddies. Go get 'em, team.
So, Victoria, Vass, and Hugh, you feel the cool summer moonlight that wraps around you as Rue casts Bless, and then you would see that as the second knight comes riding over towards you, Vass, and it raises a long sword and is going to swipe down towards you. However, I'm pretty sure a 9 misses you.
Yes, it does.
With that, he's going to try again. With a 13, that also misses.
And also misses.
So as he tries to swing, and you can see the skeletal visage just underneath the disguise of this one, the clothes that are wrapped around the armor. It is going to then come top of the round with Rue.
All right. Well, now we can see the new business too. Actually, you said that they've lifted the banner, so we could get through if we want to. Huh? Of course, you'd have to go past them.
You'd have to go past them to get there.
I want to sacred flame the one that's closest to me. If they're within 5 feet, 5 feet of each other, I'd like to have a sacred flame both.
They are not within 5 feet of each other, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's call down some lunitary radiant light and have that one make a dex save for me, please.
This is the one in with the rose banner, correct?
Whichever one was closest to Rue, he just backed up.
Oh, closest to you then would be the one that ran up towards Vass.
Oh, yep, let's do that one.
All right. That is a 21 dexterity save.
Yeah, it passes.
Which I believe means that it is a save or suck.
Yes, it is.
So, anything else on your turn?
I want to move like 10 feet farther away from that one too. I still want him to start charging me.
Okay, yeah, so you move away, trying to keep to the back line of the battle, so that way no attention is brought to you all. It is going to then be Victoria, your turn.
Okay. Did Hugh move into a flank with this, or...
No, you did not move into a flank, but you can move to a flank.
Yeah, which is what I'll do then, yeah. And then hopefully lay some better smackdown. Uh, 22. Do I need to add a d4?
No.
22 hits.
22 will definitely hit.
Okay. What's that? 10 plus 4. Nice. And then the second attack. Okay. 24 to hit. Oh, I didn't roll the number damage. All right. Another 10.
And this figure is going to slide off the horse, which you would notice this horse is fairly docile, doesn't seem to be skittish by the fighting, doesn't seem to run off now that it has no rider. But this undead figure no longer stays atop the horse. It is out of the battle.
Nice. Okay. And then, so I can move into contact with the other one, right?
I would say so, yeah. It's not terribly far from you.
All right. Perfect. That's it for me then.
So as Victoria runs off for this one next to Vass, would you close a flank with it for Vass?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm able, sure.
Yeah, I'll say you're able to. So Vass, we come to your turn. You are in a flank on this creature that tried to hit you.
All right. Well, I mean, I did say he got his scimitars out, so he'll make 2 attacks with those with advantage from the flank. 2 15s for 21, I guess.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
And I get sneak attack on this one, yes?
That
The
hits.
advantage.
Yep.
Nice, maximum from the sneak attack. Although I don't believe these are magical scimitars. I think they're just normie ones.
They are, if I remember correctly, though, I will remind someone that I have a silvered longsword.
That's true.
So,
So this is with his offhand. That's a 22.
that hits. There. So, as your attacks against this knight go forward, you're noticing that they are not quite as effective as you were hoping. They are hitting, they're doing damage, but just aren't quite the oomph that you're used to.
That'll be it for Vasto.
All right. Then Hugh, we come to your turn.
Okay. Well, I will start laying in with another smackdown on the guy.
So, moving over to the last remaining one, with Vass and Victoria now, 25 plus your 1 will hit. So, go ahead, let's see some damage.
Well, that's unfortunate. But I still get 4 psychic, 7 piercing, and add so 9 piercing and 4 psychic.
Okay.
Sorry. The attack again is a 23.
23 will hit.
Okay. And 14 piercing damage.
Alright, so the knight is starting to look roughened. The wrapping has been removed, revealing again this figure's skeletal visage beneath the helm and armor. As it is now our knight's turn, and we'll take a swing at Vass and at Hugh, more close to a front of this figure than Victoria at the rear. That is a 16 to hit Vass.
That's a miss.
And then towards Hugh is going to be a a 16 towards you, which I believe is another miss.
And it's a miss.
All right, so the longsword swings through the air, but clashes against scimitar and against shield, and we come to Rhubarb.
Let's try again. Let's call down some more moonlight on them with another sacred flame for a DC 14 dex save.
That is a 16 on the dex save.
Rat's tail. Is there any way that I can use my movement to skirt around his melee range and start making it toward the area, the path that they were blocking us going through?
This one ran off from the front, and the guy that was near the front, the banner has fallen. But you can make your way over that way.
Let's start heading that way. I don't got time for these guys. Although I don't know why I'm in a hurry, but that's what he's saying anyway.
All right. And with that, Victoria, as Rue starts to make his way over towards the area towards the council chambers, you have the flank still here. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm assuming Rue is suggesting that we need to get this over with fast. So I will. Wow. Thank you, advantage. So I'm going to add then a divine smite to this.
Okay.
So that, and it's undead, so he'll take an extra d8 of damage. Yeah, an extra 18 on top of the 5.
Yeah, so as your blade beginning to glow with the divine light from your smite cuts through this undead figure, it is enough that he drops, and you are no longer bound by initiative.
Didn't they say there was a whole column of these guys? Or, well, she'll say to Rue to Hugh and Vass.
This can't be good.
So where are the others?
Well, I hope they're not inside.
That's the first thing we need to find out. All right, and Rue's like hustling his wee little legs down the hall.
Movement speed.
All right, I guess at least Victoria will make the catch up with him.
He's not running. He's just briskly walking, he's just walking. You would easily be able to catch up to Rue, I'm sure.
Alright. So, as you guys make your way through, it is going to you're going to hold on. As you approach the council chamber, you enter in, and the halls are empty. You see, this is where the governor and the council are to be meeting with the Knights of Slumnia. And the council chamber's door stands ajar. You see its guards absent. The room is usually buzzing with conversation, but it is silent.
It's the grave.
Okay. The ones that were kind of open as like an inner chamber or something,
Right.
or those are the
So-
ones we came through.
No, you came through closed door, and the
Okay.
inner chambers, the halls here are empty. The inner chambers has a slightly ajar door.
All right, I'll glance at the others. Are we on the same page that we keep going?
We need to find out what's going on here. This is not good.
Okay. You want me to go first?
Are you able to do your thing that you just did to determine that they're undead again?
There's nothing here to check. Like the room's empty.
How long does that last for?
It's momentarily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just approaching the door. We see a door ajar. We haven't looked in or gone through, correct?
Right. You've just looked around, you've noticed the empty hallways, you see the door is ajar, and you notice the silence.
Can I kick the door ajar to make it a door open?
You can.
Yeah.
And as you kick open the door, what you see is a scene of slaughter. It spills across the council chamber. Several guards wearing the colors of Kalaman soldiers lie tangled amid skeletal remains in tarnished Solamnic armor. You see the bloody bodies of Kalaman's council members slump in their high-backed chairs across the room's large table. At a position of honor opposite of the door, Governor Kalaf Miat's body is transfixed to his chair, a gleaming longsword piercing his chest. And next to the governor's body, a man in Solamnic armor rocks back in a chair. He props his booted feet on the table as he balances a scroll on one finger. The governor and all Kalaman's council members, 6 castle guards, lie dead here.
Paladine's ghost. Raising her sword to point at him. I'm Victoria Ironhold, Knight of the Rose, and I'm placing you under arrest.
As you say this and you gain the knight's attention, which I should probably give you guys a visual for, so...
Yeah.
Pardon that
Slouchy
the
butthole.
screen is going to go a little wonky for our Twitch viewers here for a moment.
He doesn't happen to look like the Cars the Younger in any way, does he?
Not at all. The knight stands. He clears his throat and... Hail, friends, and fear not. Your heroes have arrived. I, Knight Caradoc, bring word that the Knights of Slumnia are, at this very moment, en route, with all manner of pomp and mustache wax, and whatever else they bother with these days. As he gestures to the corpses of the room, do try to contain yourselves better than this lot did.
All right. There's definitely a slightly confused look passing over Victoria's face.
Who has his blade at half drawn, thinking about ways to get it the point through those fancy armor. It's on the paper.
What this? Oh, a message, of course. It was for our dear governor, but it seems he's indisposed at this moment.
It seems like he's indisposed for all moments.
You are quite clever, are you not?
He's really not, actually.
When I get a chance, I would like to use Divine Sense again. It's an action, so whenever I get a chance.
Sure. I would ask for anyone who wants to make a history check. I would say for story reasons that, Vass, you're going to have disadvantage.
18.
Sorry, you cut out there. I have disadvantage on what?
The history check for story reasons,
Oh.
as this deals with, history of Kryn. Vass, you're the closest to, you're starting to kind of remember a little bit of what Hugh was remembering earlier. You don't know anything fully in depth, but you have heard tales and stories, and Caradoc it's ringing a bell. There's some lore, some ancient esoteric knowledge that you may have heard in passing, but it's not coming to you right this moment. And as this is happening, as Victoria, you are releasing your detect undead from your divine sense. I need to check something here real quick.
Divine Sense.
Yeah,
Detect
no,
Undead.
I need to check something.
Yeah.
Okay. As you detect trying to claw any sort of undead presence, you don't smell anything that reminds you of the rotting meat of the undead outside. There's no sound of chimed bells for any sort of celestial essence. There's nothing that's really picking up your senses. At least not in that sense. That way.
All right. I don't think he's undead. I think he's just a murderous bastard. Is it? He is armed, but he's just holding a scroll.
Yes, you would see that he does have armament, but he has just the scroll in his hand.
Okay. Drop your weapons.
Oh, but I'm quite fond of them. I really wouldn't like to drop them.
I was quite fond of a governing body in this city, even though they were inept. Look where we are now. Drop their weapons.
Well,
Obey the lady, or you'll be disarmed. I don't mean dropping your... I mean you'll lack your arms.
Why, that could be quite interesting, though. Quite a few figures down here could be disarmed, I'm sure. As he looks at the bodies that spew the ground.
The madman.
As he's looking around, Hugh, your eye is caught by the movement. As much as your training is to focus on him, but you catch something with your 18 passive perception.
Jesus.
There is a... There's a small blood trail. There's a shattered door at the rear of the room. And the blood trail leads to it.
I'm tracking the blood trail, seeing where it goes. I think don't have to keep my eyes on him because everyone else is.
He's standing near the blood trail, so if you try to follow it more than what you've already see, it might catch his attention.
Okay. Draw up my shield and start approaching him. Keeping my eyes on what's going on here.
Oh, you've pulled a shield. I've not even drawn my weapon. I didn't realize that we're beginning a fight. That's typically not how this starts, if my understanding is correct. It's been a while since I've battled anyone on even ground.
We'd prefer to take you peacefully.
I don't prefer peace.
Hold on, he's got some... Do I recognize any of these designs on his armor?
He's wearing Knights of Slumnia. It's very much the order of the garb. Seems not as old as the armor that was worn outside. You're not seeing the same dust and ash and rusting.
Well, I have a suspicion, so... I don't know if Hugh would have this or not, but... Stefan's wondering if he's from Dargard Keep and one of Seuss guys. Not sure if that's be metagame knowledge or not. So, I'm not sure if that's appropriate to act on or not.
I would say that there's enough suspicion in the air right now that if Hugh has got something he might act on, this guy hasn't acted like any other knight you've met.
Q asks, "Tell me, how's the weather in Dargard Keep nowadays?"
And where? If you are wanting to ask about weather, perhaps you should visit yourself.
Oh, day my people know. You'll regret it. You and your master.
Now, of any very few things that my lord regrets, if anything.
You should regret everything. And he will by the end. The living aren't done with him.
We shall see, of course. But, as I said, I don't believe this is proper engagement of any sort of battles. Usually, it's, weapon on weapon, and then the shields come out.
Oh, you mean like what happened here earlier?
Oh, this was just practice. Training.
Someone of your stature requires training against defenseless politicians.
Oh, no. The politicians had the training, and they failed, it seems.
You want weapon on weapon. Q events is now directed at me. I find you'll find this adequate.
Oh, well, then. If we are to go on with the engagement, you see that Caradoc will move to grab his sword, and pulls it out, flourishing it from the Governor Miat's corpse. Blood thick spatters against the table, and he lunges forward. And as he does so, that's going to be first, a miss. There is a crack as it hits your shield with a 13. It does not impact any vital areas, but we are rolling initiatives here.
Okay.
Finally.
I thought it re-rolled high because I swear I heard him say finally.
I did say finally.
Oh,
I had an 18 on the previous combat that carried over today, and then a 19 on this one, the last one. It's like, I don't want to go first. I do it, don't.
Alright, so. It will be firstly, our Vax will be going first. Then we have Hugh. After Hugh is Victoria. Then Drew. And then Caradoc. And as we are entering into this battle, Vass, you are the first to act. What would you like to do?
Well, firstly, I will give a bardic inspiration to Hugh. And then I think I will can I get close enough to him so that I'm not getting any friendlies in a 15-foot cone?
I would say that, yeah, you could be able to do that. You'd put you right next to Hugh, but that would not catch any friendlies.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to him, channeling Infernal Heritage. My hands start glowing. I reach them forward, and I engulf him with some burning hands.
Hell yeah. That's a dex
Well-
save, right?
Dex of 14.
Which he fails with an 8.
I love that for him. That's 17 points of fire damage.
Heck yeah. You see where the blisters begin to appear as the intense fire comes out. Anything else from Vass?
I guess how much movement would that have taken? Do I have any left?
I would say you have some left, yeah.
Could I dance around to try and be in a flank position with Hugh?
Totally.
Then I shall do that.
And as Vass moves into a flank, closing that off with Hugh, before we can get to Hugh's turn, we are going to be taking a break here. So, stick around with us. We will be right back to finish out some of this combat and see where else it leads us. But before we go, I ask that you hang out, you chat with us, you let the ads run. Please don't leave us, please don't mute them. Ads are a huge part of how we can keep our games affordable. You could also support us directly by donating to my Ko-fi. As we all know, a GM needs her caffeine. We have a link for that on screen. You can follow it there and know that your donations not only help support us, but also unlock awesome perks for the entire community, benefiting everyone who plays with us for the next week. These perks include double treasure, double XP, special companions, and even new quests. We love you all, and we will be right back. All right, we are back in action. We are in the middle of the fight as we're coming up to Hugh's turn. Hugh, we come to you. You have a flank with Vass in, against the Knight Caradoc. What is it that you would like to do?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with the standby, and I already have casted Hunter's Mark, so I'm going to apply it to him. And I'm looking for gaps in that plate armor and trying to poke him full of arms. I think I'll try for underneath the armpit. I have a flank, right?
You are in a flank.
I can re-roll this one. Alright,
And you can add one.
so that's going to be a 26.
26 hits.
For some reason it's not showing up for me, but I rolled a 7 there, so that's a 13. Plus 4 psychic damage and Hunter's Mark, or another 4. So, so 17 a piercing and 4 psychic.
Okay. So, cutting through the knight, but he still stands. And it is going to then be Victoria's turn.
That was just my first attack.
Oh,
I get
that's
to.
right. I totally forget. You guys have second attacks. 26 plus the one from chat makes that indefinite hit.
Okay. Nice. Okay. 18. And, sorry, not 18. 14. Actually, I was right. I was preemptively right. 18 piercing.
Predicted the future. We manifest here. So as you're able to strike out and make this second attack, you notice that the body drops, and standing behind left is a spiritual figure. And I will get that again. Twitch chat. Sorry for the brief disruption. As you see the ghostly figure of Caradoc that is remaining over top of the body that it seems that he was possessing. It seems that is why you were not perhaps able to detect the undead presence, Victoria, as we come to your turn.
And now he's a ghost dude.
And now you see his ghostly form.
Okay.
And, let us change then to the undead battle sounds.
So I'm going to go ahead and, on the first strike, use the Square of Salamia Precise Strike,
Okay.
which will give me advantage and some bonus damage if I happen to hit. Okay, is a 25 hit?
A 25 will hit for sure.
Okay, so regular damage. You know what? I think I'm gonna smite as well. So 1d4. So 24 total.
Okay.
Oh, I guess that was just the first hit.
Yeah.
The second one maybe hits. Go. No, I believe a 9 will miss.
A 9 unfortunately does, even with your +1 making it a 10. Doesn't strike.
Okay. That's it for me.
So, then Rue, we come to your turn. What would you like to do?
What kind of foul magic is this? What happened to that scroll that the body was holding?
The scroll is still there.
How far away is that scroll?
From you, about 20 or so feet. But it's right next to Caradoc.
True. I don't know what the deal with that spell was, but I'm very fixated on it for some reason. So I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and send that out to grab the scroll and bring it back to me.
So that'll have to be 2 actions. Because conjuring the Mage Hand is the first
Oh,
action. And
okay.
then it'll be an action to control it on your next turn.
Understood. Let's do it. Yeah, let's conjure Mage Hand over there.
So as the Mage Hand appears, you see where Caradoc looks at it. And, oh, it seems that we've got a ghosty friend joining us here as well. As he looks at that, because your Mage Hand does have like a little translucent appearance.
Yeah, this is definitely not the telekinetic Mage Hand. It's completely invisible.
So anything else from Rue? You do have a bonus action and movement.
Can I use a bonus action? I know it's not a bonus action, but can I use a bonus action to have it make some like obscene gesture at Caradoc?
I'll say that it can be done as part of the casting, is making an obscene gesture. Oh, you're rude, aren't you? As it comes then to Caradoc's turn, we first hear the cough of the body that he was possessing as it makes a dex, not a dex save, a death save.
Oh, snap.
That cough is very wet with blood. As it is now the ghost who acts in full, and you hear a moment where there is a gritting, not now, as he is going to rush forward and go for a, he's gonna try and possess Hugh. Hugh, can you make for me a charisma saving throw?
Bardic.
Crap. I will use said Bardic.
All right.
Charisma is not my strong suit. Although, yeah. Okay, and what's the Bardic?
A 6. A d6. So you would roll that.
Well, it was a 6.
Nice.
So, total of 14.
So you feel the presence seat inside of you, as that is not quite enough. You are incapacitated, as you hear, oh, now this does quite nicely in your own voice, Hugh. Well, friends, let's be on our way, shall we? As he turns to the rest of you, and you will be able to, I'll say you'll be able to remake this charisma save at the end of your turn, Hugh. Vash, it's your turn.
Oh, yay. Okay. This is an interesting turn of events. Well, I will give Hugh another bardic so that he can hopefully shake off this possession.
Totally.
And then I will try and make this ghost run away with some dissonant whispers.
Yeah, go ahead. That's a wisdom save?
Yes, 14.
That is a failure with an 8.
I love that for him. Damage is not great, but he does have to run away.
I will say that him running away does make him leave Hugh's body. Why try and puppet a body when you can just leave? So he exits out, moving towards the other side of the room before turning and looking at Hugh Vash. Oh, you're clever.
I like to think so.
Phew, you're no longer possessed, but boy, was that an experience. What would you like to do?
Well, okay. And I attack the ghost because I am pissed that he violated my bodily autonomy.
Totally. If you've got 40 feet of movement, you can get over there.
I do have 40 feet of movement.
Oh,
So, as you rush over, let's see them attack rolls.
Let's get this party started. Beyond's being a little bit silly. Okay, actions. Alright, I take it 11 will miss.
The 11 does miss, unfortunately.
I take it a 20. He's not gonna have a 25 AC.
25 will hit.
Or 12.
He seems resistant since your weapon is not considered magical.
Okay, 16 piercing. And 4 psychic.
He does seem to take the full psychic.
Okay. So I tell him, your form is antique as your armor.
I'll have you know that armor right there is present day, as he points to the body of the knight on the ground.
Okay, then your form sucks.
Victoria, it is your turn.
okay. She's gonna run over to the knight that was gurgling on the ground.
Okay.
Hopefully he's still gurgling. And so as my action, I'm going to give him 10 lay on hands.
Okay. Yeah, as you give 10 lay on hands, you hear the cough, this time a little bit more hearty, a little bit more hail, as it coughs up the blood that was in the lungs.
Perfect.
And he does
Rest,
not
rest
see,
easy in Paladine's Light.
you get a nod. You may be a little bit more able to communicate after the threat of battle, but for now, he seems like he won't be dying immediately. Anything else from you, Victoria?
That's it.
Rhubarb, what are you doing?
Bruce says to Victoria, I was gonna do that, but okay. And then I think that this jerk called me rude, and it's not my name. My name is Rude, not Rude. Let's call upon Lunatari to send a guiding bolt in this ghost's direction.
Go for it.
Please, please, please. That's a natural one.
Oh no!
It's the Knight of Melees, not of ranged casters.
As the guiding bolt moves, the figure of the knight moves out of the way. Oh, as he looks over to you. You must have been the one that conjured the hand. It's a little tricky, I know. Anything else from Rhubarb?
Who just kind of like narrows his eyes and huffs at him, makes the same obscene gesture that the hand made the last turn.
I love it. As we come then to Caradoc's turn, he has to make a roll, which you see these sort of pulling on the form as a sort of wrapping of hands through the spiritual energy, chains almost through the arms and fingers that bind him to this realm. And then he looks down. Damn it all. This isn't the last time we'll be meeting. As the hands pull him through the veil of life and unlife, and he disappears from where you all are.
Oh.
And with that, you are no longer bound by initiative.
The heck is going on here?
Who or what was that?
Is that
That's
scroll he
Steve's.
left? Like I'm not gonna leave this guy's side. But is that scroll that guy was holding laying around?
It is. You can see that it's slightly scorched parchment. It's sealed by black wax with a rose emblem stamped on it.
Maybe the scroll, maybe his message scroll has answers.
Do you open it?
First answer is that was one of Soof's lackeys.
Ooh.
Do you open the scroll?
No, she's gonna be helping dude up, but she'll point it out to anyone who wants to.
Okay. Helping this figure up, he nods. Thanks. Please. Can you tell me what the date is? It's been... I don't remember much. I was ambushed the last I recall. I was traveling near Dargard Mountains.
Which I'm guessing. I mean, she'll tell him the date. How long has it been?
Weeks. I'll have to get back. My home's in Melgoth.
Are you a knight?
I am a knight, yes. Dustin Rial.
Yeah, sorry, Ironhold. We're in a little bit of a war right now. You might not be able to get home.
You see that he takes this information, and probably not the best, but as well as a soldier might. He understands the situations that might be allayed against him.
There are senior knights in the city. Perhaps you should have audience with them and rest before pursuing whatever path you're going to take.
Do you remember anything while that being was possessing you?
No.
No conversations, no feelings, no dreams even?
Nothing.
Okay, well, if he seems pretty steady and no one is reading the scroll, I mean, Victoria will pick it up to read it.
And I can't read, so.
You break the seal, and for a full sheaf of parchment, it is a fairly small message. People of Calamon, I exert my rightful claim as ruler of the province of Nightling. Submit or flee. Lord Lorenzoth, Knight of the Rose.
You hawks a loogie at that piece of paper.
Anyone who would like to roll a history check here, having either read or heard the message. Bash, you heard something and you lose it almost immediately. Your mind goes elsewhere. Hugh, you are overcome with the rage of your people. But Victoria, this is a little close to home. You recall that Lord Soth was a knight of Slavamnia. The same order you are. Order of the Rose. He ruled the province of Nightland back when it was known as Nightland, spelled with a K in front. You would also know that the gods gave Soth the opportunity to redeem himself, to prevent the cataclysm, but he didn't complete his quest. and the cataclysm occurred.
In a
You still got a little bit more that you know.
oh shit, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You know that Hayes' failure contributed to a lot of the widespread distrust of the Knights of Slavnia. And you also, the last thing that you know, and this is what Rue, you would know with a 12, is that while Soth's fate is a mystery, his home, Dargard Keep, is known to be a cursed and haunted ruin.
With that too, I'm gonna say that Hugh can normally recite all that chapter and verse whenever he wants to, but he is just so spitting mad about this he can't articulate any of it.
In a low voice, she'll explain that to everyone.
Yeah, it's. I thought it was just a legend. Maybe the army's just evoking these legends to try and scare us.
Many dark things walk in Nightland.
As you share this information, as you make this revelation known, a figure steps forward from a corner of the chamber. Though you could have sworn it was empty but a moment ago. A figure that you recognize. Blue-skinned Sylvanesti, Sylvanesti, really right?
Yeah.
Elf. That you had seen in Vogler.
At the grab.
And as she steps forward, a look of urgency upon her features. That is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Pooh.
Throw my keyboard across the room. No,
So,
awesome.
thank you to our players for playing. I hope you all enjoyed this story as much as I did. Thank you to our viewers for viewing. I hope you guys enjoyed this story as much as I did. I will see you guys in the next stream, but until then, head over to wildwitch.com, join us there, check us out at our Discord, playing a game yourself. And of course, as always, may the ever-burning light forever guide your steps.